The first roller coaster in history was the Gravity Switchback Railway on Coney Island, first opened in 1884. Almost 100 years later, Roller Coaster for the ZX Spectrum becomes the first video game to portray a roller coaster. But it wasn't really like a roller coaster game, it was just a generic platformer with carnival theming. It wasn't until 1999 that the concept of running a theme park and building roller coasters by way of SimCity was brought to market, with Roller Coaster Tycoon, a franchise that has spawned many sequels. Today's game eschews all of the business and land development aspects of Tycoon, focusing exclusively on coaster building mechanics, resulting in a tighter, focused, and more curated experience. This is VMU. Also released in 1999, Coasterworks was the very first game developed by rookie game developers Bimbusoft. The central conceit of Coasterworks contextualizes building roller coasters as a sort of physics puzzle, with concrete, well-defined goals, focusing exclusively on coasters, and completely eschewing the business management simulation and general sandbox nature of other similarly themed games. Instead of micromanaging how much salt you put on children's french fries,
move the sliders to adjust the quality of the merchandise, the amount of ingredients, or the sale price.
You're tasked with building roller coasters. You'd think a game of this nature would be best played with a mouse and a keyboard, and shockingly you'd be wrong. It's actually surprisingly easy to play on a joypad. Rather than building from an overhead vantage point using sprite-based assets, Coasterworks is in full 3D and shows you 4 simultaneous angles of your structure: front, side, top, and most importantly, first person. After placing the boarding station on the grid, you advance section by section with A. After placing each segment, you can pivot using the analog stick, and eventually twist the rail using L and R. You can even go back using B to adjust earlier segments, which will change everything afterward relative to its position, giving you quite a lot of freedom. Once you finish your design schematic, you could take it on a test run. However, this isn't a sandbox. You can't just build nonsense all willy-nilly and kill your guests on purpose like in Tycoon.
Hello everyone and welcome to another video. We have all killed guests at some point during our Rollercoaster Tycoon career, but doing that always lowers your park rating, which is really annoying.
Coasters must satisfy several criteria: speed and G-force, which are pretty self-explanatory, safety, which is a little more vague, and the ever so tenuous thrill factor. What does it mean? How does it work? I don't know. The game will also inform you of the grievous bodily harm you've caused your customers. If you manage to clear the stage, you can move on to the next one. The game includes 6 stages. The later ones will really put your understanding of physics and momentum to the test, and it'll keep you trying to figure them out for a while. So it's pretty short, but it is a rather dense game. It's also worth noting that most other games that involved building roller coasters at the time were strictly 2D. The only exception I'm aware of is Sim Theme Park.
You don't have any bathrooms in the park.
And even then, the game still used a standard overhead building system. Coasterworks did get a sequel, but that game isn't quite the same thing. It expands the scope of the game, and it's more of a typical theme park development simulation game akin to Roller Coaster Tycoon. It lacks the focus that Coasterworks had. I feel like Coasterworks is really the only game that does what it does in the particular way it does it, and that makes it certified Dreamcast core. So that's been our quick look at Coasterworks. This game is pretty cool. You can get it for cheap. It's only about $10–15 on eBay, so feel free to pick it up if you haven't played it. If you have played it and have fond memories of Coasterworks, feel free to comment below, like and subscribe, all that jazz. And don't forget, if you want some more Dreamcast action, we stream every Sunday and Wednesday at 6 p.m. at twitch.tv/doctorbutler. We do fighting games and Dreamcast games, so check that out. Until next time, keep thinking, folks.